Should be live in 5 minutes at least.
Okay. I don't like this lighting.
Okay.
Oh, see my boya.
Great house.
So ABC is live now. Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, it is.
We
it
don't
is
hear
live
you.
now. One moment. One moment. Are you getting me?
Yes, but
Yes.
we're not getting on live.
No. It is just the intro of the program first.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes. Just to say, we are going to go live soon. So, are there any specific things we want to discuss? I know that there might be some question and answers that people want to come and ask. But any idea, just a general quick thing, 2 minutes before we.
I think I would like you to ask a question to one of us about the recent changes that have been announced by the World Health Organization about the mode of transmission. Whether because
Are you? Hello?
yes.
Hello, Dr. Chita, can you hear us?
Yes, Pastor D, I can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that you can hear me.
I think we're streaming live on Facebook already.
We are, yes. Oh, people are already calling.
Can you guys maintain peace over there? I don't need noise. Close the door. I'm on TV.
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that you can hear me.
I think we're streaming live.
We are, yes.
Let me hear when you are live.
I'm not seeing the rest of the people.
Can you guys maintain peace over there? I don't need noise. Close the door. I'm on TV. Yes.
Hello?
Okay. Who is speaking? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Okay. I'm going to put the music here that will go for about 3 minutes or so. And after that, I'll come live.
Okay.
So,
and then we'll be able to see ourselves, because I'm not seeing the rest of the crew.
you not see when I put the rest of the crew, you will see them.
Okay.
You are 4 of you. You're going to be 4 of you on the screen, and I'll actually be out of the screen because I've got 4 here. When you are talking, I'm myself time and again. But you know. So 1 second. So when that music is done, I will go live. Can you hear me?
We're marching down the street with branches of trees, expressing our grievances. Everybody knows that green is for peace, calling our government to address our needs. Before we know it, them friends soldiers come. They try to stop us, they shoot us with guns. My brother and Betty fell on the ground. The soldiers came on him, I heard him shouting, let's stand.
Hello?
Yeah, hello? I'm not hearing
Okay, sorry. Sometimes it goes off when this thing is changing or switching. So I was saying that we have Dr. Fidelis, Dr. Tita, Dr. Thomas Ndula, Dr. Kajan, right? And my humble self. Yeah, so the music is going again for about 1.5 minutes. So we are going to go live very soon. In fact, we're already live on Ground Zero, and YouTube, Facebook as well. So sorry that we started this late. Not really anticipate this, but it is well. Okay, so I'll just put back that music, the volume, so that we can follow. By the time it finishes, we are where I will then go live.
Don't give up the fight. That children unite and stand for your right. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight. That children unite and stand for your right.
Hello and welcome to Vision for the Nation. Good evening. I know today, as you can see, the background and things are not the same like usual. It's due to some changes that are going on, and reason why I've come this late as well. Sadly, we've got you know, a lot of technical issues that have to be dealt with today. So I beg your pardon for that. But once again, welcome to Vision for the Nation. I am your host, MC Danny. This show is quite an interesting one because for the first time, this platform, not only do I have with me one guest, which is the first time I'm hosting anybody on this show, but I've got 4 guests with me. And these are our own Ambazonian professionals, Ambazonian doctors who have come to speak on this crisis and on certain changes and things that are happening with regards to the COVID-19. So once again, welcome to Vision for the Nation. I am your host, MC Danny. So like we've, if you had followed last week, we talked about the COVID-19, what was going on, where it started. We all know, or at least most of us know, it started in Wuhan, in China, and for some reason which it's kind of very surprising, it's become an epidemic that is now causing fear all around the place. And we as Ambazonians, it's true, we are in a fight, we are in a position of war. But while things are happening like this, we also need to be in a position where we can prepare ourselves, where we can also ensure that we also keep ourselves healthy. Without being healthy, certainly our fighters cannot there and defend the land. So with me, like I said, 4 doctors who are here, professionals in the field, and also we've got with amongst them the Secretary of State for our health, the Health and Social Service Department, the HSS, who is here with us in the name of Dr. Tita. So I will not want to waste your time. I'm really sorry again to say we are starting this late. This is very unusual for Vision for the Nation to start this late, but trust me, it's for a good cause. And we've been running it, get some things working, and sadly some cameras or things are not working as they ought to. But here we are, and I hope you enjoy the show. Now we're going to give a time where you can make a call. You can ask a question, and definitely we believe that, as Ambazonians, as intelligent as we are, that will be able to give you answers that can in this particular situation. Don't forget to visit us on YouTube. Just search for the Nation to watch or to watch other shows that you might have missed. And also you can write us at visionftn@info.com. At gmail.com. So that's visionftn@gmail.com. And today, but as we progress, things are going to get better. So there's some changes happening, but trust me. Now I'm going to turn to our lovely professionals who are here with us.
Danny, we can't hear you.
Okay, 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I did not realize that. 1 second there. Let me just to the comments so that I'm just sure that everyone is in touch and that people can hear us. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. So just a second there. Yes. So welcome. This gentlemen are here to really present us with some facts and with some changes and things that are happening. So before on, I just want to first of all call on Dr. Tita, the head of the HSS, who is going to introduce to this wonderful that are here, this wonderful professions, these wonderful Ambazonians that are here with us today. So, Dr. Tita.
Thank you very much, Comrade Danny, for hosting us today. Greetings, fellow viewers. With us today, we have the Undersecretary for Health and Social Services for Health, the Undersecretary for Health, Dr. Anderson Kajang, who is actually a neuroscientist and also a doctor and nurse practitioner. That's with us today. And we have also Dr. Tom Dula, who is the Undersecretary for Social Services, who is a medical practitioner over in Germany. And also we have the pleasure and the honor to have Dr. Anderson Kajang, who is the Undersecretary for Home Affairs and a practicing pharmacist right here in the state of Florida. It's our honor and a pleasure for us to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. Sorry, viewers, that you can't see me, I understand. But, at least we have the good lineup that we have here. Now, for the inform Ambazonians that you can call and ask your questions. Please be precise when you call. Please get straight to the point. This show is not about political things where people are blaming this one and blaming that one. So we are here to talk about the concerns for the people and, to ask questions that can help our people. So we'll go ahead. I don't know if anybody wants to give us an update on the situation right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think there are some recent changes that WHO has been announcing and has been making around. So I don't know if one of you wants to maybe give us an update on that.
Okay. Let me write on here. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it was just misspoken. Dr. Tita, Secretary of State for Health and Social Services, did not mention my name. So he mentioned Dr. Anderson twice. So I understand. Yeah. So I'm Fidelis Atianjo. Yeah.
I am so sorry about that, Dr. Atianjo. I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay.
I guess it happens when you put the camera.
Yes, Dr. I know. Yeah, I understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, once more, my name is Dr. Fidelis Atianjo, a neuroscientist. I'm also a psychiatrist in the nursing field. So, I wish to actually update our audience about recent changes that have occurred within the scientific and research world about the COVID-19. Yes, we have understood from the beginning that COVID can be spread by droplets and also contact. Yes, if somebody is able to sneeze, cough, and you have droplets that can last in the air for some time, as well as infected person touching substances or surfaces that you come in contact with, you can actually pick up COVID-19. Another idea or proposal that came from the beginning was that of being airborne. Yes, but the scientific world was still fielding on this, was still fighting on whether to establish it as an airborne. But given the way the COVID-19 has spread all over the world and the speed at which it's doing, scientists have now pinpointed that airborne is also a means by which this disease is, this virus is transmitted, which means that simply talking around somebody or sitting in close proximity to somebody who is having COVID-19 and you are conversing with, you can easily pick it up. And that is why you see we have had a lot of unexplained reasons why people are having COVID-19. People, maybe some who have been isolated or who have been maintaining the social distancing, have been having these issues of with infection. Then another update I would like our people to take note of is those who are sick, even though they have mentioned that it's a disease that is affecting most people who are above the age of 65. Yes, but if you have underlying diseases, like for all chronic diseases, such as diabetes, hypertension, HIV/AIDS, you are at a very high risk. And science has also proven that there are some receptors in our system. They are known as ACE receptors. These ACE receptors are very prominent and common in people who are having high blood pressure. So once you have this, it means that this virus has a very high affinity to these receptors. So those people who are having high blood pressure and diabetes are at very high risk based on the fact that there's a high expression of ACE in receptors in their system. So they can easily pick this up, and science has shown that. So those are a few points that I wish to highlight. And thank you.
Yeah, let me chip in on the fact that Dr. Atianjong made mention there that the disease now is being said to be transmitted through airborne. Why would they coming up with a lot of studies that is being carried out, like in China currently, the studies that have carried out that shows that after someone sneezes or after someone spits out this saliva or anything that is infected spits out the saliva, that virus get to circulate in the airspace for about 20 minutes. So that is the catch. So if it stays in the air for about 20 minutes before falling down to the surface, someone just walking through it have the high potentials of contracting it. That's why it's insisted. They keep insisting for everyone to put on face mask. So someone can sneeze right here and walk away, and then you coming by without any mask or anything of that nature, you walk through it, and in that way contracts this deadly virus. So that's the studies that is coming out of China right now at the moment. And that's where it is very important for everyone when going out, put on a mask, because you don't know who just walked by before you. And again, it's going to circulate for about 20 minutes before the virus is going to stay in the air. It's going to linger in the air. The virus will linger in the air for about 20 minutes before it actually, the winds blows it off. So that's how the study, that's what the studies are saying right now. And those are ongoing studies that's going on right now in China. So always put on your mask if you can, please. Especially when you are in a red zone area, the areas that have already detected infected patients with the virus. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Well, just to say, Ambazonians, if anybody wants to call right now, you can call. You can ask your questions while we are having these discussions. So,
okay, may I chip in something there, please?
Yes, Dr. Anderson.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Dr. Tita is right, because that research actually says that as we sneeze, it lasts for 20 minutes because we have micro and macro particles that from the saliva or whatever comes from us, the mucus that come from our nostrils or whatever. So it has to spread and spread. Those tiny particles actually spread further than the other particles that are a little bit heavier. So the best thing to do is to have appropriate ventilation. Appropriate ventilation is very, very important. If you go to most places, I mean, even at home, or large industrial areas like Amazon now, what they do now is all the doors are always open. That way, if somebody sneezes, those air particles can actually disappear within a short period of time, and that will help the spread of these diseases.
Okay, thank you so much for that elaboration, and also for giving some insight. From my understanding, I think we are simply saying, or basically saying, try to keep distance.
If I could add something there.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
just in the same line, well, I'm Dr. Tom Dola, Undersecretary for Social Services at the HSS Department and a medical doctor. Talking about this airborne transportation of the coronavirus, the risk is very high when you are in a confined environment, as Dr. Anderson mentioned, like in public transport or in places that are crowded. When you're in public transport, then it is very likely that when somebody sneezes, even if it's just two of you in a large bus, and then imagine that those droplets being in the air for 20 minutes, then they can fly around, so you have a higher chance of inhaling it than if it was in the open, where there is free circulation of air, where there is ventilation. So public transports, they are to really reduce those who are, the number of people who are on it. I was told a few days ago that in public transport, these 70-seaters, they have reduced it to 50-seaters, which is actually almost nothing. I mean, you have to like reduce like even to 1/4 of those people sitting in there, and then they have to take precautions by putting on face masks. So people should be very cautious. Only if it is life-threatening or you must travel, that you embark on such a perilous adventure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much again. So,
Pastor Danny, are you there?
Hello, can you get me?
Yes.
You getting me? Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was saying that if I understand very well, we are having a lockdown today, isn't it? And which I understand locking down the borders and stuff like that. The details are out there. Now, in terms of the IG, what are some of the efforts that have been put in place? I know it's a coronavirus task force that has been put in place. Any other extra things that have been done maybe down to synthesize people, to make people aware more about the virus?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. Yes, President Sako did sign an executive order on Sunday that effective today, April 1st, at 12 a.m., there's going to be a lockdown, which was very smart because the president is looking at it that we didn't have at this time, we don't have any reported cases. So the best way to prevent it is to make sure that we don't allow anyone to bring it into our territory. Remember that in neighboring French Cameroon, they had indicated that they had some cases over there, and in neighboring Nigeria, they had indicated that they had some cases as well. So the best thing to do to prevent this situation from happening is for us to have a lockdown, so we prevent anyone from bringing it into our territory. And I really applaud the president for making that decision. It was a very good decision. It's a healthy decision. It helps to protect our people and make sure that no one brings this deadly virus into our territory. So, but other than that, there are plenty of measures, like you said. The president, when the virus started spreading, the president instructed the Department of Health and Social Services to create a coronavirus task force, of which that was created with well-educated people, healthcare professionals from every walks of life that's in there. And we're working every day on a daily basis, monitoring the spread of this virus. Not only that, keeping in contact with the healthcare practitioners on ground zero. We talk on a daily basis with healthcare practitioners in the northern zone and in the southern zone, getting their info, getting their own input as far as the way to prevent this, just in case something were to happen or if someone were to get it. As a matter of fact, one of the doctors that we talked to on ground zero has actually made himself available that just in case we were supposed to detect this at any level, he's willing to, they're willing to travel to go and really look into it to make sure that that was actually the coronavirus that the patient has, and to make sure that the patient has the right treatment. But we'll just keep praying that it shouldn't get into our territory or anything of that nature. So we'll make sure that our people are are safe. Thank you.
Wow, that's outstanding. Yeah, what was that again, comrade?
No, I was just checking if the Dr. Atianjong or Dr. Ndula wanted to chip in something.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead.
I have something to say. Go
ahead,
comrades. HHS is one of those departments that is taking care of the humanitarian needs of the Ambazonians. And one thing that is very clear is that we are represented at different levels, at the level of the local government areas and also the counties. So another thing that this department has done is to encourage people from or representatives from our local government areas as well as counties to disseminate preventive measures through their local dialects, so that those who are unable to, who cannot get information, will be able to be reached with this information, especially our IDPs, some of whom are in bushes and some of them do not understand English. So disseminating this information in the dialect would actually reach to the masses, and they will be able to understand and take precautionary measures to prevent themselves from being infected. And also, this information also provides them with the opportunities, just like Dr. Tita said, so that they can actually get to know where, if they get sick and it's really serious and they are diagnosed, they could go and seek help. So that is what the department is doing too. Thank you.
Yeah, let me chip in there. I think, Comrade Danny, one of the, we just got a question there on Facebook. They dropped it on the note. They was asking if the microorganisms like this virus stays in the air for 20 seconds or 20 minutes. Like I said, because they're very, very tiny, micro, very, very little, they linger in the air for 20 minutes. That's what the study says. Those are the studies that are coming out of China. So it's not 20 seconds. I stayed 20 seconds. That because they're very micro, they're very little, they can linger in the air for up to 20 minutes. Like Dr. Ndula said and Dr. Atianjong said before, the best way to do it is to open the space, and Dr. Anderson even said it too, that is being done at some other companies, is to open the airways to make sure that wind can blow through. Turning the fan on could be a best way. Actually, this is something that happened in that study as well. Turning the fan on to blow the air out so the air can circulate, increase circulation. Yeah. Turn the AC on to increase circulation, help effectively get the virus out of wherever confinement that you are. Thank you.
A simple illustration is just like you are in a room and you fart, you pass out gas. When you pass out gas and that room is not well ventilated, that smell is going to keep on revolving in the house and you are going to smell it for a longer period. But when you open the windows, that smell is going to go out very quickly. And yeah, so that is a simple illustration, our people. So once you are in an area that is crowded and there's not enough ventilation, these particles are not going to run away. They are going to stay in there and linger around for longer times than when it is open and very ventilated. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting example. Not the best, but it's quite an interesting, you know, we need those practical, you know, examples that gives really an insight of what is happening, or just to describe things the way they are. Now, I realized, Dr. Chitala, you were mentioning about what the interim government has been doing. You know, in particular the HSS department with regards to this virus, the spread, the pandemic. Now, I was very, very impressed when I went to the HSS website and I saw all the details that was being spoken about, you know, the coronavirus and the things that one do, you know, to prevent and in fact, I was really impressed when I was like, wow, you know, I did not expect this level of detail and you know, the amount of work that was put into care. You know, this is why I keep, you know, here the platform that look, we have a nation, we're building a nation, and we most likely are going towards a good destination. you know, and I mean, many people will be bear me witness that people have been calling as well to talk of the Ambazonian that we believe in. That is why we are fighting so strong. So going there, seeing that, I was really impressed because it's such a high quality website when I went there, and that really made me proud, to be honest. You know, that we are not just talk, we are a government, we are a people, and we are best so we can reach out to them. So just to say, for those on, somebody wants to chip in, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Let me also add that I like you know, the way you just said it, because you check out, and even you saw in the coronavirus task force team group, WhatsApp group, you see a whole lot of practitioners in there. And this is to say to the average people that we are building institution here. I'm all in front of the face of the Secretary of State or the Undersecretaries of State of the Department of Health and Social Services. There are hundreds. I mean, hundreds of people working in the background that you don't see them come on TV all the time. So they're working constructively every day on ideas or what opinions of what you guys can do to help our people. So know that the interim government is a big institution, bigger than the number of people that you see anywhere. It's plenty of people working daily, you know, all the time. Like, as a matter of fact, paying attention to everything that is happening to make sure that our people are protected, to make sure that our people stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for that. That is really, I don't know if anybody wants to chip in. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. Well, to add to what the HSS is doing, we have problems not only on ground zero, where La Republique is not only killing our people, but have thousands of them in their dungeons that they call prisons. Those are actually torture chambers, and people are confined in there, packed in there like sardines in Yaoundé, in Douala, in Boya. And we are in contact with those people as good as can be. And we hear stories there that they are so congested that people practically sleep on top of each other. And during this time of the spread of coronaviruses, when we hear of of cases where in other countries, prisoners with petty crimes have been released to decongest the prisons because they cannot afford to do that isolation and then really take care financially of those people. And those are first world countries. What more of a third world country like La République du Cameroon, having our brothers and sisters there whose only crime is that they believe in a free Ambazonia to which every citizen has a right in every country. So the president called upon in his last executive order, called upon the evil La République government to decongest the prisons, to free all our political prisoners, all our brothers and sisters who are there. And we have a prison director who is seeing into that, monitoring how the situation is, the health situation of our prisoners, and how we take care of them. And in this respect, we thank the Unity Foundation, which is very instrumental in that, in taking care of our sick. When we get help, we channel it through them, then they take care of our prisoners there. And then we also have over 100,000 refugees on ground one in Nigeria. They live in camps, and they are so choked together also. There have to be some basic hygienic requirements, which the UNHCR is not providing in all the camps. So we are instrumental in that. We're trying to raise money, and we have projects going on to get them clean running water, with this washing of hands, which is one of the basic preventive methods not to contract the coronavirus, and to get them to try to get them some masks. And so we are begging on all Ambazonians, wherever they are, to help us, the Department of HSS, help our suffering people. In that respect, we are thanking NGOs like the Belinda Babila Foundation, who have been doing a phenomenal job up till now, and still doing on ground one in Ghana and other places where our refugees are. And we have a humanitarian task force where we really want to concentrate on doing humanitarian projects on large scale, looking for donors to come help give us money to help our people. So those are some of the things that are being done. We are just here to talk about it. There's a whole army of people behind us really on the ground doing the work and catering for the finances and practically calling people personally on phone to get in funds. So we are doing our best, but we ask for help from all Amazonians. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. I mean, that is even more intriguing and very, you know, interesting to hear more of this detail of what people are doing.
Danny, are you there?
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So I was saying that thanks so much for those for that detail and for that insight, because a lot of the time, you know, people don't see what people are doing in the background, and it's just the same like you see a ship in the sea, which is sailing gradually and going. Now the whole big thing is sailing and going, but there are people inside who are working tirelessly, you know, to make sure to ensure that the engine is running and things are happening. But if you look at the big ship, you know, you look and say, oh, okay, maybe just one or two people there, maybe it's just the captain, whereas you have a whole bulk of people inside. So just to also, you know, an appreciation to those that have been working so much tirelessly to see that we beat this thing called the coronavirus out of the way and continue with the fight that we have to fight because of the fact that it is laid upon us. So in any case, I just want to say, call on the user, you know, on the viewers, you can give us a call right now. Give us a call if you have any question you want to ask the humble doctors that are here. I believe that they'll be able to give you an appropriate answer in terms of, you know, the disease out there. And yes, it's something we need to all take serious. It's not something to joke about. Now, there's another issue which I want to also talk about, and that has got to.
We don't hear
Sorry,
you.
We lost you.
Yeah. So I was saying that one other thing that I would really like, you know, well, just bringing it up, maybe somebody might want to encourage people, give them advice or something. But I think I see so much is the fear that is crippling people. They seem to be such amount of fear going on, and you know, it's just kind of crippling people. It looks like people have lost it in a way. So I don't know, is it something that people really have to be afraid of, or with the preventive measures that are carried out, we don't really have to be so aware, even though we might have to be cautious? So I don't know if anybody wants to chip in something.
Yes, let me go in for now, please.
Okay.
I don't think everybody should be afraid of a disease like this. I know we psychologically we're a little bit kind of traumatized because it's something that just pops up abruptly. Some people are knowing for the first time, but you have to know that this disease has been in China for the past 2 years or so. I mean, for many years, I think we have to know that we should not be afraid. We should not be afraid because, I mean, we are equal to the task. We are human beings. We can reason. We have, if you ask generation that has passed, they will tell you that they have encountered dreaded disease like this. So what we want everybody in Ambazonia to know that we are fighting two wars, the war with La Republic and now coronavirus. So the only thing we have to do, if we can actually resist La Republique, then we can equally deal with coronavirus. First, we have to be very responsible by social distancing around 2 meters away from each other. We are not exception of loved ones. I'm talking about couples. At least they have to be closer. So they have to also make sure that they should not gather in a church where you have too many people inside. For example, the situation that we just said about this virus, when you sneeze, for somebody who has a virus, when you sneeze, it will be for 20 minutes that the particles will be lingering on air. And then what you have to do is you have to open the doors and make sure that you have appropriate ventilation. So we are asking our people that they should practice good hygiene, washing their hands, make sure that they wash their hands, and make sure that they rub alcohol or hand sanitizer. I know that there are some of our people back in the suburbs, they don't have alcohol. I'm talking about the ordinary 91% alcohol that is being sold in the pharmacy because they cannot even afford it. They cannot afford it. So what I will advise, yes, what I will advise my people, especially everywhere in Ambazonia, I recommended that we can use our local made alcohol, especially the first grade. The first grade is actually good. It may contain more than 60% of alcohol. I am saying this because I keep on saying this because I come from Akwaya, LGA, and we know how to distill alcohol. I know how to distill this Afofop. So the first grade of Afofop contains more than, if they actually analyze it scientifically, now that I'm trying to reason out to relate to where I come from. It may contain more than 90% of alcohol because the more you add water, the more you keep on distilling, the more water it goes into the alcohol and the percentage drops down. So I'm advising for people who are in Nigeria, you know what we call Oron alcohol. Oron alcohol is a very typical type of alcohol that is being sold in Nigeria. And we buy it, especially in Akwaya and Manu in general. We buy it, and then in order for us to consume it, we have to add water to decrease the level of alcohol content in it. So if you buy something like Oron alcohol, for some of you who are not tappers, just make sure that you don't dilute it. Just use the one that is there before. Remove maybe a bottle or two before you dilute it. That bottle, you can use it as your hand sanitizer. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm very sure that that alcohol you're talking about is is very strong. I guess even well, I don't know, I can't compare, but it's I will guess it's like vodka, isn't it? Over here where the percentage is very high. So yeah, thanks for that. I think you know, it's always, you know, there's always a solution around, you know, if we're just wise enough, or if we at least believe in ourselves that yes, we can do it. So for some reason, we know I'm not getting anybody calling in today. This is
Can I say something?
Strange. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Actually, I just want to tell our people that they have actually seen what has been going on in the entire world. It is a very serious pandemic that is affecting the entire world. And people should not take any chances. I understand that we have also some of these myths that we've been believing in. Some people say the virus does not survive in hot temperature, and that black people are immune to it. And some say that it's manufactured, and that there's a vaccine for it, and there's a treatment for it, and so forth and so on. All this information is going on. But one thing that I would like our people to know is that it is really, really serious. For a country like the United States, the entire Europe, to shut down, and the number of deaths, like Italy has been devastated, Spain is devastated, and many other countries, and US has already projected that before this thing ends, we might register about 200,000 deaths in the United States. That is to show you that experts have already studied it, and they know. They don't even know how it's changing, because the disease is beating the people, the systems. So each and everyone should take it very seriously. Given our conditions in Ambazonia, we don't have any health facilities. And that is why our people have to be more careful, because they don't want to contract it. And the most basic treatment that they need, they don't even have it. And that is what is going to put people in a very dire situation, and it might even cause their conditions to deteriorate. So one thing I would like us to know is that our immune system is key to fighting this coronavirus and other infections. If you don't have a good immune system, there is no way you can fight it, no matter how confident you are that you're going to fight it. It's something that is affecting your system inside. It's not like the war that we are fighting that you will see and a Republic soldier coming, you have the legs to run, you have the eyes to see, but it's something that you are not even seeing. It is affecting your systems in there, affecting your lungs, and even going to the level of causing pneumonia, as well as developing other complications like multiple organ failure. So these are things you can't control them. So there are steps that people can take to actually make sure that they maintain a good immune system. One of these is the fact that you prevent anything from attacking you by maintaining good hygiene. Hand washing is very, very important. At least anybody would know how to wash hands. There's water available in Cameroon everywhere. Even if you don't have soap, you can equally wash your hands every now and then to prevent infections, or you picking it up and touching your face all the time. Reduce touching your face. And then another thing that can make you to boost your immune system is to eat well. I understand some people are going to ask questions that, well, we are in bushes, we are IDPs, we are not even sure of a meal, but it's a necessary step to take. Yes, we understand this, but we have to educate our people on what to do. You need to eat foods that are balanced, vegetables, a very good source of all the nutrients, so that you can actually maintain a good nutrition, which will actually boost your immune system. To those of you who are kind of not active, activity is very important. We need to exercise in order to boost our immune system. Exercise is key. Just moving around about 30 minutes a day or every other day is very, very important for us to boost our immune system. Now, another thing is we need to take vitamins, like vitamin D is very helpful for us, for our immune system. And then we need to avoid stressful conditions or situations, because some of us are very, very adventurous. We take risk. It's very good for us to avoid situations that will put us under stress. Anxiety is a very, very serious psychological problem, which can actually depress your immune system. Some people would be so anxious and are so sensitive to minute things in a way that, for instance, once you are diagnosed with it and say, okay, you have coronavirus, some people can just drop dead immediately. But it's a good thing you need to maintain your anxiety to a very normal level, so that you do not stress up your immune system, which will actually be very, very devastating to you. So those are the pieces of advice that I have to our people, so that you can take these steps in order to maintain a very good immune system, which can actually give you some level of protection against this infection. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very, very much for that, you know, the advice even concerning some of the preventive methods that we can use. Now, one question I have is in terms of, you know, the masks that is out there, or that is, you know, that we see all around on TV and then now. It's very likely that people, or some people, might not be able to afford these very basic things, or this, mask and stuff like that. So the question I have is, are there any other alternatives that people use? I've seen some people, they've taken like, is it a kitchen serviette bit, and then use a rubber, put it on it and put it behind. So is that something that can work, or is there just to replace that? Now,
I think
if you give me a moment, let's hear from this caller before we continue with that. Okay. Hello, good day, and welcome to Vision for the Nation. How are you doing today? Okay. Yeah, everyone can hear you.
Okay. So the question I have, like I just tried on the comment, I was asking the doctors who are collaborating with those on the ground zero if they can have, if there is a mobile testing kit, if there's a mobile testing kit somewhere, and how much does it cost? Because we could ask Ambazonian to contribute to buy something like that. And also, if those that they are collaborating with in ground zero, they could collaborate in using the kit to help test people in case there are some cases. That's my question.
Okay, thanks so much for that, John. Yeah, I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I think that question he had dropped it in the bottom there on the notes, and I saw it there. I think it's a very, very good idea if we could find a testing kit. As a matter of fact, for the past week and a half, we've actually been looking for it, but we can't find any testing kits yet. I've actually checked even with some suppliers, pharmacy suppliers, and they don't have it. So if we can find it, as soon as we can find one, as soon as we can lay our hands on one, we're gonna purchase that. That I can guarantee you. And yes, we have the healthcare practitioners on the ground that are willing to volunteer to step in whenever they hear of anyone testing positive for the COVID-19. We strongly encourage other healthcare practitioners that can join this team to contact us at HSS, so we can put this team together that could help on the ground. Thank you very much. Yes, we're looking for it, and as soon as we can lay hands on one, we're going to get it so that our people can have confidence, or they should stop being worried. Like I said, like you were talking before about the fear factor. The fear factor is everywhere, even here in America. Like, as a matter of fact, the patients that come into the pharmacy that I see on a daily basis, everyone is worried. Everyone is worried because of the number of people that have died in China, or the people that are dying in Italy now, and in Spain, and everywhere. Even right here in the US. So, but our people should not worry. I said, like you said before, fear will kill you before this virus would. The good thing is that studies have shown that even though there is no actual medication that has been manufactured specifically for this purpose, there are other medications that have been tested. That studies have shown that they could effectively help in treating this virus. So don't be afraid. We're looking out for you. There's chloroquine that is supposed to be available there on ground zero. That can be very helpful in treating this deadly virus. Thank you very much.
Yes, to add to that, I think scientists from France actually discovered that combining hydroxychloroquine with azithromycin is a little bit effective to combat this disease. I think with time, even the FDA is trying to do some fast acceleration to actually see whether this combination actually works, so that every American too can have it. And our people should be assured that we are here for them. We will never allow things to go wrong on their side without us paying attention. We'll continue updating them with any means, anything, even the testing, if we can afford it, and there is if they are available anywhere, we'll do everything possible to buy them so that they can be tested, and we'll see how we can remedy the situation. In fact, prevention is better than cure. Thank you.
much for that. Yeah, just as I was asking before, the last caller came in with a very important question about the masks. Are there any alternatives that people can use, knowing tied to the fact that you know, these things might not be readily available on ground zero? So are there any other alternatives that one can use and that you might want to suggest?
I think if you go to the store
Yeah.
most of the time now, you will see people can even use handkerchief to tie themselves, the nose, to prevent any form of contamination or infection. Even sometimes you even see people with some bandanas that they tie themselves, they tie on their face to make sure, just to as a means of prevention. But we strongly encourage our tailors and seamstresses on the ground. This is a major time where their skills are going to be very useful. All of the tailors and the seamstresses on the ground that can sew, they could sew these masks and get it ready for our people are very cheap, even just for like 100 francs for one. I think this is something that they can do. Yes, Dr. Tuba, you wanted to chip in something.
Yes, thank you. Concerning the masks, it is, as we heard, not only through droplets can the coronavirus be contracted, but it is airborne also. That is, somebody sneezed and coughs, and it's long gone from that place, and still 20 minutes after, within 20 minutes, you get into that space, you breathe in that air, then you can contract it. So practicing social distancing is very important, not getting to crowded places. If something happens, now that we know it's airborne, you are speaking with somebody, these masks are very important. Having some clean piece of cloth, like some hair tie or thick handkerchief, and folding it into many layers, and then covering your mouth and nose with some elastic band, attaching it behind your ears. It's better than not having any mask at all, because those droplets, they will probably not come through, and hopefully the virus not also. It should be something of cotton material. They are very absorbent of liquids and droplets that might go through. So the thing is, the lethality of this coronavirus, it is, yes, it is more lethal than the common flu and all that, but those who die of it, many people who contract it, they get healed. 70 to 80% of people who contract it get healed, especially the younger people. Those who die, as they have found out, are those above 60, 70, and who have like some diseases which they already had, like high blood pressure, diabetes, chronic kidney diseases, who are more prone to it. So if you are younger, even 20, 30, and you have such diseases, you are also prone to that. There are rare cases where it was reported today or yesterday that a 13-year-old boy died of coronavirus infection. That is very rare, but it happens. And for nursing mothers, for pregnant women, they are also at risk. But rest assured, it is not, there is no proof that it is transmitted onto the newborn baby, unless the blood of the mother and the child intermingle during childbirth, and it has not been proven, it has not been found in breastfeeding milk, so it cannot be transmitted from the mother to the young baby through suckling. But if the mother is suspected of being sick, then some other person will have to take care of that child, because the child will be at a big risk of contracting the infection. So getting what you can get, some clean piece of cotton cloth, and folding it into many layers, and putting it in front of your mouth and nose to limit or stop the inhaling infectious material from the air. That helps also. So yes, it is something lethal and something not seen before, but people should not be in big panic. So we now know people who are at risk, older people, about 50, 60, 70, and people who have conditions suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, and all that. And those are mostly our parents and grandparents in the village. So if you're in town, living in big cities, you are more at risk of contracting the coronavirus than people in the remote area in the village. So don't go to visit your older people. You never know if you are infected or not. It takes 2 to 14 days for any symptoms, dry cough, fever, and shortness of breath to start occurring. So you might be feeling very healthy and you already have it, you don't know. But that older person who is sick, your own older grandfather, grandmother, mother, father, auntie, uncle, who might get infected by you without both of you even knowing that somebody infects other, that person will be more at risk. So you limit such visits and such movements. And this lockdown ordered by the President, Dr. Sako, of the interim government, comes very timely in taking care of that situation, that people don't enter into public transport, and if then it is just to be in life-threatening situations that you must travel or something very, very necessary. If not, you stay at home, get much food for yourself and family, and stay at home and avoid close contacts with somebody who is having these symptoms. Even somebody having symptoms of common cold, cough, fever, breathing difficulties, you cannot differentiate it from the coronavirus, except that person is tested, and the testing is very costly. It is not available in the district hospital in the villages, for example. So prevention is better than cure. So stay safe, wash your hands regularly, and get some sort of mask in front of to cover your nose and mouth when you're going out, if you have to go out at all. And when somebody has symptoms, then you seek medical help. Thank you.
Thank you so
just
much
to add on that.
Okay, go on, sir.
Yeah, just to add on that, according to Center for Disease Control and Prevention in America, we have 1 out of every 4 people who are infected with COVID-19 may not have symptoms. Then you can really imagine how this disease actually spread. So 1 in 4 who actually have the disease may not have symptoms. So you may just keep on spreading the disease, spreading everywhere, and majority of the people may even have it. So that is why social distance is very, very essential. And also the updates for World Health Organization, as per the 31st of March 2020, Africa has 5,013 cases. And La Republique has 139 infection, and 6 have already died. If you go to South Africa, that has the highest number, that is 1,326, 3 died. Morocco, that has 609 cases, 40 already died. So it's a very severe situation, but we just have to be calm, because it's already here. If you have to be panicked, the fear factor may kill you before the virus kills you. So we have to advise our people to stay calm, follow the guidelines, and make sure that everything that we're telling them, because we're getting from reliable source, they should practice that, because we are representing them here in the interim government, even though we are far away from them, but we are making sure that everything that we are saying here, they should practice it, because it is the right thing that we are telling them, and it's the right thing for them to do.
Thank you so much for that as well. Well, I'm happy that we have professionals here who can answer some questions, and I'll assure the people of at least what to do, the basic things to do viewers, as you know, this is a pandemic. It's kind of just becoming a pandemic, which is mixed with fear and also things. But in life, we have to understand that, you know, it's not everything is not about, you know, just being afraid. There are other important head, because if you are afraid, then you don't have your action to even help your neighbor, to help those that you can reach out to. So that fear factor, please, let's put it to the minimum. I mean, we fight this battle, this war 3 years, and we've been overcoming so many things. And I believe strongly that this is one of those other things that we will overcome. Who knows? It can even be for our advantage. Not that it's something that we desire, or, but you never know. God has a way at times of doing things that you know, you don't know what is going to happen. The enemy's camp, you don't know whatever is going to happen. But just to tell ourselves that regardless, we have to put our you know, of very, very importance, take it very seriously. So that our weapon, we're talking about this, that we are going to lay down our guards. We're not going to stop defending our land because COVID-19 is around the corner. No, I think people have died far more than what the COVID-19 has been doing. So we cannot just lay our guards and things that does it. At least good thing is that, you know, it's true many people could be affected, but you know, those that die is of a lesser rate than the majority. But you never know. You have to be careful because you don't know, it could be you. So please take the advice of our comrades. They know what they're talking about, and I'm very sure a lot of them have done already researches. They've read all kinds of articles on this thing, and I am sure that they've been in the position that they've been well informed of you know, the spread, how it happens, what can happen, and all the like. So yeah, we're going to soon close the show, but before we go, now I also discuss a bit, you know, I won't take much of your time because that's probably a show for another day. But in terms of the future for Ambazonia, you know, what kind of measures can we put in place to prevent, well, I won't say prevent, at least to manage sign of outbreaks that can happen? You know, are there some ideas that, I don't know, anybody can chip in that maybe the government in the future can implement, or to prepare themselves? Because I think health is one of the things that you can never tell. Things can just happen at times. So are there any policies, ideas that, you know, we can discuss, or that somebody has that you would like to chip in? Anybody?
Hey, Danny, I'm going to let Dr. Atian Jong and Dr. Ndula chip in on the healthcare that we're going to have in the future Ambazonia. Okay. But before I go, I wanted to still emphasize on this fear factor and the treatment. There was some, we had some information that was circulating on the, you know, social media. Some people talking like, we're talking about, Dr. Ndula was talking about how deadly this virus is, and Dr. Kajang had backed it up that effectively we can treat this coronavirus with the chloroquine, which is actually Novaquin, alongside azithromycin, which is readily available everywhere, even it's available on Ground Zero. We had some questions from some healthcare practitioners that both medication has some major side effects that they call QT prolongation. And now I'm talking to the health practitioners on the ground. Yes, both of them has a major side effect that is QT prolongation, which means that they have a high chances of causing the irregular heartbeat, which could lead to potential blood clot, and that blood clot could lead to potential stroke if it gets to your brain, or heart attack. But now, knowing how deadly, and this is to the practitioners that we're talking on the ground, because people will come up with these arguments all the time. Knowing how deadly this virus is, now we have to go to weigh our risk versus effect to see how, you know, the risk that you take by taking this medication compared to the fact that somebody might die if they don't take it. So the risk chances of developing a stroke or heart attack compared to you might die, obviously, because we see it everywhere. So, and knowing that this therapy is short-term and is being monitored, The therapy time duration is for like 6 days. I would recommend for every practitioner to treat. I would recommend for every practitioner to treat, knowing that it's very risky and deadly if somebody does not receive this treatment. So, and the practitioners could also monitor the patients while they're doing this. They could actually add anticoagulants, even though they say they don't want aspirin there, but you can monitor the situation. Practitioners monitor at your discretion. But as far as treatment is concerned, treat, please, this patient, and let's not allow our people to die. Before we go also, for our people on the ground, the common treatments in using to treat malaria that we normally use, which is heat. This virus cannot survive heat. You have to do steam bread. I think all of you must have seen it on social media, that you boil your guava leaf, your mango leaf, boil it. Once it boils at 100 degrees, you cover yourself. Within 2 minutes, you breathe in through your mouth and through your nostrils, breathe in, breathe out for about as long as you can tolerate. And you come out within the next couple of days, maybe 5 or 6 days, this virus will be gone. So don't be afraid. Or you could do your local fever grass that you can boil, and you drink it hot. You have to drink it hot because you want to kill the virus at the level of your throat, because this virus cannot tolerate heat. Please, so don't worry, don't be afraid. We have the local treatments there that can help you to treat this. Again, HSS is always going to be there. You know, if you have any questions or if you're feeling any issues and you can't reach any doctors on the ground, call us via WhatsApp and we will definitely answer or respond to your questions. I'm going to let Dr. Atianjong and Dr. Ndula continue on the future policies that we're going to have for a free Ambazonia.
Dr. Tita, okay. Let me just
Okay, yes, go ahead, Dr. Kajan.
Yes, I think what the theme that you actually said is I think it should be very effective. And we don't buy water, we don't buy fever grass, we don't buy bags of those trees that we are using them there. And for our healthcare professionals that are down there in ground zero, they should know that the risk of QT prolongation varies from person to person, and they should not actually take it as a generalized thing that it must happen to this person and must happen. Only a few percentage of patients actually have that case of QT prolongation. So it should not be a generalized issue. It's very minimal. It's not for everybody. Thank you.
So again, the risk versus effect is something that we have to take into consideration. That the risk that the person is going to develop that compared to the effect that the person is going to benefit, risk versus benefit. So the benefit that the patient is going to get from the medication compared to that risk. So we always have to evaluate the risk versus benefit to see how helpful it's going to be for the patient compared to the patient not taking the medication. This is a deadly virus and there is no time. Immediately once anyone starts experiencing any of the symptoms, you have to run a test, and if it's tested positive, isolate the person and start treatment right away. And until the person gets tested negative. And if once you get that negative test, you have to retest 24 hours. So you have to have 2 negative tests before this patient can be removed from isolation. Thank you very much. Yes, Dr. Atiajo, Dr. Ndula.
Okay, before I talk about the health policy issues, I just want to concur with Dr. Tita, and there's something we say in medicine. This is a saying in medicine that once you have somebody in front of you who needs treatment, you as a physician or you as a practitioner, you are supposed to look at the advantage, whether the advantage outweighs the disadvantage. They are all medications, you can agree with me, have side effects. So with a situation like the COVID-19, with somebody who has tested positive, there's going to be an immediate start of the treatment. Just as Dr. Tisa just said, there's no way for somebody to delay it, saying that it's going to develop the side effects. And the side effects, some people might develop it, some people will not develop it. How do you determine who is going to develop it and then you stop medicating the patient? That patient has to be treated. So no matter what, the patient has to be treated. So nobody should sit back and say, oh, there might be some. And again, we are in Ambazonia. We know that in Ground Zero and in Africa, most of these places, they don't have unions that are following up people. So treat the people, please, and let them get good health. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. Okay, in terms of the policies, our department is working so hard because if we were to be in Boya today, at least we must provide some kind of a skeleton which could be worked on for the treatment for a medical system for our people. The first thing that our department has thought about is to zone our Ambazonia to create medical institutions so that our people will have access to medicine or hospitals or treatment places where they can be treated, not to be traveling all sort of distances to go and seek treatment. So we want to make sure that all areas have medical institutions that are well equipped for the treatment of our people. Then another thing is we are also coming up with a policy whereby a health insurance will be instituted in our country where our people can have insurance through their jobs, or those who are not able to have it through the jobs will be able to have it through a state-sponsored program, which will actually give our people the opportunity to be treated or to seek medical attention whenever they need it. So this is a very lofty plan for our people, and this shows that this government is thinking, the government under Dr. Sako is actually thinking about our people. And again, you can see from all the steps that the president has taken and has sent out there to actually safeguard actually prepare the groundwork for our people to be safe during these very difficult moments. Dr. Ndula, my take over.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Fidelis. Well, in addition to what Dr. Fidelis said about the prospects that we are having for Ambazonia, the health system. We want to develop a health system that is the envy of others around. We see how it has been done, like in Rwanda and in other places where their situation was like ours or even worse after the genocide that went on there, and there is a genocide going on in Ambazonia today. And then they really revolutionized their health system. For that, we will have to do away with certain habits, bad habits, I would say, that we inherited from La République, like corruption, centralization of medical treatment and resources and decision-making, everything being in the colonial capital in Yaoundé, and the peripheral hospitals just getting some trickle down from all that is happening there in terms of material and decision making. So that would be different in Ambazonia. We already have our interim government, county government, and the local government, which is local government at the grassroots. Those are where things will be happening, and in the villages also. So we are planning on really decentralizing the health system. We are already in the counties and LGAs. We are taking stock of the health centers, hospitals that are there, the expertise, what doctors, nurses, health practitioners are there being cataloged so as to see how, when we will soon get our independence, that we touch the ground running, that we really get those expertise together. So we are starting with those in the diaspora now, asking everybody to come on board, the HSS, medical doctors, dentists, pharmacists, nurses, paramedical workers, so that we start building our health department already. And we are breaking it down. We have at the HSS representatives from almost all 13 counties, HSS representatives there who not only give feedback to us how the situation is in the counties. We have regular meetings, but we also instruct them on how to go about collecting data, medical data about our people back home. And we see we have our restoration fighters, our brave restoration fighters who have volunteered to put not only support the struggle by like us in the diaspora giving money and all that, but to put their lives on the line, so that when we get back our pre-Ambazonia, they should be well rehabilitated and taken care of medically. So we are begging on medical practitioners to come and be registered, so we see how we can take good care of those our heroes when we get to Boya.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That was quite a lengthy one. But it's good. I mean, it's nice that we have we are preparing ourselves as a nation, working towards you know working towards a goal that will benefit our children, benefit our nation. So thank you so much. And I'm very sure that there's so much more that is being planned and that is in store that will be coming on as time goes on. Today, we've been trying to look so much more about the COVID-19 and looking into the future of, you know, what structures and things like that, and organization that we might have in the health sector and stuff like that. But I would guess that will be for another day. We've spent some time. Just a moment. Yeah, sorry, Comrie, what were you saying?
No, I just wanted to chip in here that our people, we have lived back home. We have had the opportunity to study in the diaspora, all of us, and a lot of hundreds of other people in the background that you don't get to see on the cameras, doctors, nurses, pharmacists. We're all working constructively to make sure that we have an advanced healthcare system once we once we get our recognition. I know it could be very challenging and people might not know this, but in the background, we are actually working because immediately after recognition, let me say everyone, or maybe majority of our people will need treatment. So we're working constructively in the background right now towards that project to make sure that our people get the right treatment immediately after recognition. So we're working hard for you, and we can assure you that once everything is said and done, this interim government under President Sako will be there to make sure that you get the care that you need, you know, once we get the recognition. Thank you very much.
To so much work going in the background that will foster you know, the well keep of the people. And like you said, there's just too many people that have gone through a lot of, you know, pain psychologically, physically. So that is a big one. And I guess your department has a big challenge to tackle such things, or at least to put frameworks and things like that in place that will help to, you know, to alleviate these problems. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much. I think we've spent quite some time on the show. Just to also say for the viewers and who could not go through, please, you know, understand there's been a lot of calls and a lot of challenges happening here. So sorry for those that we could not pick your calls. It wasn't intentional. So please do not be angry about that. But I think with our doctors here who have explained to us so many things and how to handle them, we are privileged. It's not every time that you get this information. So I want to personally thank
Danny? We don't get you.
Comrade Danny, we cannot hear you.
Say that you know, it was a great time with our doctors. I was so delighted. This was kind of short notice that I got to get to them to do this show, and I was actually surprised that they came.
I think we lost you, Comrade Danny.
Next time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you so much for your time that you spend with us here on the platform. You know, we do our best. One question. Sorry, can you hear me? Someone just said they can't hear me as well. Hello?
No, we cannot. Now we can hear you now.
So in any case, I was saying that I was just thanking everyone. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Sorry, I was informed there seemed to have been some audio issues, so that's why I was a bit confused. But anyway, in case you can hear me, please have a blessed day. See you again next week, same time. That's next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Amber time. Please spread the news, share the video, and be part of those that are moving forward with the revolution. God bless you and have a great day. Bye for now. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, I had a complaint that my audio was not coming on. Sometimes this thing gets mixed up. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yes, for about 2
I
minutes.
was just saying that we're at the end of the show, but people could not hear me. I'm just going to switch back again to my to myself, just to in case they didn't hear me, and you know, just to end the show. So you just give me a moment.
To tell them that there is no vaccine
hello,
now.
hello again. Sorry that you couldn't hear my voice. I'm very sorry about that. I just wanted to say thank you so much for being part of the show. I was also just appreciating our doctors who have done a wonderful work. Thank you so much, Dr. Tita. One second. Hello. Can you get me now, all of you?
Yes, we can.
Yes, yes,
okay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, good. So I was just saying thank you so much for being part of the show. Sorry if my voice had been going off and on. Thank you so much, Dr. Tita, for being part of the show. Thank you for the great work you are doing. Thank you, Dr. Fidelis, for being part of the show. It's an honor to have had you here. Thanks for your insight, and your studies is very interesting what you shared with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas Ndula. Thank you very much for being part of the show, and not forgetting our humble Dr. Kajan. Thank you all for being part of the show. You are doing such a great work. Continue to be part of the revolution, and may the Lord continue to bless you. Bye. You know, if anybody wants to say bye or just say hi to Ambazonians, this is your moment.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay then. Bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye to everybody.
Okay. Okay, viewers, thank you so much for your time. Sorry, we had some problem with the audio towards the end, and you know, just to say thank you for being part of the show. Once again, thanks to all the panelists, the doctors who came to deliver this wonderful message, and this message of precautions. So thank you so much. I'm very excited. Thanks for those who've been writing to encourage me, to encourage the show. Thank you. You are really a wonderful blessing unto me. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and may you continue to shine. And in everything, stay safe and keep on with the revolution. For this revolution is short-lived and Ambazonia is long-lived. God bless you. Bye for now. Okay, I think that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for being part of the show. So we are offline now. Can you get me?
Welcome to Vision for the Nation.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for the show. I'm so excited and I'm happy for having all of you here. And you have a great day. And bye to all of you. Okay,
thank you. May God bless you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Vision for the Nation. Welcome to Vision for the Nation.